Three, two, one. Bing! Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's having a good semester. We're getting the video lessons sorted out. They've taken a long time. And quizzes and all those stuff. Let's get right into the week. And we'll get in more detail. Let's start here about the quiz, which you took quite a while back. So on E-Class, when you take a quiz, there's an option, a setting where you can publish a score, and then have it see so that students can see. And apparently, when you publish it, students get a notification, which is nice. Then also, there's other options on showing the questions. So for the quiz, when you had to transcribe the IPA into plain English, at first I had it set up to reject if you put punctuation into it, because that's how it is. I'm just asking you to transcribe the phrase, not make it grammatically correct. So, but under consideration, that was a bit much to ask. This is an introductory course. I'm not, I shouldn't expect you to think like that, especially with an online course. So I've corrected those. So scores should go up considerably, but spelling did count. So if you spelled a word wrong, that you did get the question wrong. But I tried to be nice about other things. But even then, several students did get full points, so that's okay. Well, not okay. It's quite good. And also, you should be able to see your scores for your introductory videos. Your video lessons, I'm still not done with because, good lordy, there's a lot of them. But we're getting them. And I'm going to publish your scores after I grade everyone's videos. So you should get a notification for that later. So anyways, exciting things. This is week 13, and we only have week 14. So we'll move right along and see how it goes. I believe, we will. We'll have one more quiz next week, just to finish things up, to move things along. We talked about last time that I don't think a big project is needed. I think just another short quiz is better, just to make sure that we're following along, and it helps paint a picture of how effective these online lessons have been. The university hasn't done these before, as most of these schools around Korea. The online semester is a new thing. So the quiz is helpful for seeing how effective the classes have been. So we'll check into that. All right. This happy fellow. This is in IPA, yeah. Sometimes they mark it with the J character. Other times, you can even see there, they mark it with the Y character. Both happen, so you just need to be aware of who is saying which rule system is being followed. But even then, it's the y sound. So y before vowels. Y. So young. So we have you can see the differences. Oak, o, yolk. Ak, yak, yeah. It melds in with the vowel sound. Am, yam. S, yes. Ear, year. So it affects the vowel that follows it. East, yeast. You, yellow. Yesterday, yesterday. New York. Young, university. Use and yet. And then also we have the w, and we have this sound in Korean as well. So w. This is much more of using our lips. We count it as consonant, but it's very close to vowels. So before vowels, we have wa. So we, west, wet, wine, win, wheel, walk, were, weather, wonderful, whale, war, windy, went, would, well, would. Let's get back to that. Way, which, why, warm, what, wild, watch, while, white, which, worm. Okay, let's get into this fun pronunciation. Wood, 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 wood. I do not pronounce these very different at all, if at all. They have combined, basically. So I don't pronounce the L, the wood, but I say would. Would you do this? Would you do this? Could you do this? I don't pronounce the L's at all. So would and would are effectively the same pronunciation-wise. This is why context is so important for us, because these are very different words. So by themselves, it can be difficult to figure out which one we're talking about. But in a sentence, in a phrase, it should be quite easy to understand. Okay, let's get a bit of practice in. Excuse me. Yanking yellow yo-yos. And all together, yanking yellow yo-yos. 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 There we go. So we have the ya, n, k, ing. So ya, our tongue's up front. Then we have to go nasal with ning. Then we have a stop with k. And then we have a ng sound. Then we go back to ya, la, o, wa, yo, yo. So our tongue and lips are doing a good amount of exercise. They're going a good distance. Yanking yellow yo-yos. Yanking yellow yo-yos. And listen to the local yokel yodel. Listen to the local yokel yodel. Yodel's a kind of singing. Listen to the local yokel yodel. Yokel and local are very close, and I have a hard time saying them next to each other. Local, yokel. Local, yokel, yodel. Listen to the local yokel yodel. Goodness gracious, I have a hard time with that. Can't imagine how you're doing. Okay. Wally Winkle wriggles his white wrinkled wig. Oh, this one's easy for me. Wally Winkle wriggles his white wrinkled wig. Wally Winkle wriggles his white wrinkled wig. Wally Winkle wriggles his white wrinkled wig. Wally Winkle winkle. Wally Winkle wriggles his white wrinkled wig. Excellent. Okay. Go ahead and say it yourself as well. I don't know, this is a famous one. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? There we go. This is a fun one. Chuck, 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 chuck. It's like a train. All right. Now, that's all the sounds we have. Next week, we will finish up with vowels. And it's quite exciting stuff. So very quickly, for lesson planning, we'll go over these as well. Remember, the hook is the introduction. The book is the pre-teaching, the teaching part. Look is the main activity where they practice. And took is the review. In our video lessons, we did all these steps, even in the short amount of time of 3 minutes, the 3-minute micro lessons. So today we're going to review the book, the pre-teaching part. There's different methods we can use to help engage and prepare our students for learning. One is picture it, as in, simply showing pictures and eliciting, getting the students to show what they know, and you can start teaching what they will know. Gesturing, using our bodies. Repeating, this is good for pronunciation and for memorization. and questioning, asking students and to display and show and guiding them to arrive at an answer. So, of course, with online, we can't do the question it, but I enjoy the question it method because it allows a lot more engagement and thinking on parts of the students. So let's walk through this. Let's see if you can guess as much as you can. Who on earth is this? Because I don't know. So who is this? Who is he? He's Grandpa. Right, Grandpa, that's right. So who is he? He's my grandpa. He's Grandpa. So Grandpa has a lot of different words. Grandfather, Grandpa, Papa, things like word gramps, grands. So this is a way for students to show what they know, if anything, and for you to provide a context for the information. Who is she? Grandma. She's my grandma. Okay. Pa, ma. It's a. So we have the practice of the pronouns he and she. Non-native speakers have a difficult time with he and she. Very similar words, but very different meaning, especially in social context. Then also grandpa and grandma. They're very close words and only separated by a single letter. Granted, they're said very differently with P and M, but all right, let's have an interstitial here. With how short it was with the y and w, let's get started a bit with vowels and give us a bit more time to finish up and have a proper ending next week. So, vowels, as you remember, are all continuants. They're all voiced. That's what makes them vowels. They ow, all those kind of sounds. As we see here, we have E, I, U. So C, E as in C, I as in sit, U as in book. That's not U. Book as in so book, uk, to, U. There's the U. Here, day, min, about. Word, sort, oi, a. Some of these we're not going to worry about. These are approximates. So, but these are the vowel sounds. We'll start with this happy fellow. This is famous I. This is where it comes into it. The long E, so-called long E, which we learned about, sheep and ship. This is something that Korean learners of English have had a difficult time with. Ship, sheep, ship, sheep. We have the long E sound, but a I sound. Bean, ing, bin. Bean, bin. Eat, it. This one we can hear very easily, but students have a very difficult time with sheep and ship. Beach is another word they have difficulty with. They often mispronounce it as the vocabulary word for a female dog. I'll find a picture that will elucidate that. So we have sheep, ship, bean, bin, eat, it, seat, sit, leak, lick, cheeks, chicks. We can hear what we call the short sometimes it's called the short E and long E in elementary school English, but these do have different sounds. And thinking of it as a long E or a long I or a long anything gives the misconception that they're the same sound. They're not, but it helps us visualize and compartmentalize and categorize these sounds, because we can see two E's right here. So sheep, but we can do that as well. We can elongate the vowel sound in ship. Ship. We can do that too. So using the words short or long when talking about vowels that are continuous anyway, it's not true, it's not factual, but it is easier to understand and to explain to young learners. This happy fellow, my computer is sluggish, but the we see this X, ax, pin, pan. So we have min, man, said, sad, the beg, bag, bread, brad. This is something that Korean learners of English have a less difficult time with, but it can come up with the vowel sounds. And here we have it again. Comparing these two, the I and E. This would be actually very interesting to see. Do you hear a difference in my speech of these words? Pin, pin. Bin, bin. Tin, tin. Pig, peg. Bill, bell. Chicks, checks. In the first three pairs, I don't hear a difference in my speech. These are the same pronounced sounds to me. But maybe you can hear a difference. In some different accents and pronunciations of English, there's a stronger difference, but with me, there is none. The vowel sounds have combined. And that happens with some pronunciations. So, pin, pen. Now, to me, this has rising intonation because pins are sharp. And pen is something we write with, which is boring to me. Bin, as in a trash bin, and bin, the name. Tin, the metal, and 10, the number. Pig, peg. Bill, bell, that one's very clear. Chicks and checks, I can hear that as well. So it's something that we need to be a little careful of. A lot of native speakers pronounce these two vowel sounds as the same in certain situations. So it's something to be aware of about the drift and combining of sounds. All right. Let's pause here. I wanted to add on a little bit because we had such a short lecture with the consonants rather. So hopefully we'll get a bit of practice in. Next week will be our last online lesson. I hope you're all staying healthy and wise. Have a good week and goodbye.